So what's up, guys? I was up.
All right.
Huh. Right into it.
It's connecting.
Are these three different?
Yep.
Cool.
Are we allowed to know what they are?
Yeah. Well, I'll introduce him here in a second.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Hell yeah.
Utterly awesome. Ooh.
All right.
And Apocalypse.
So everything on my end is saying we're online. You ready?
Sure.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
So, Live Fridays are back. The whole gang got together. It took a little convincing, I think, but got you guys to do a live stream with me. I know it's been a while since we've done one, almost a whole year. I think I did the last one with you.
That's been a while. That was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just stopped doing them. It just became too much. So every week trying to scrounge people together, scrounge beers together, it was just way too much. But there's no reason I can't do it once a month and interact with you guys and talk with you guys and do something fun like this. So, yeah. We got a cool guest on today. We'll do some news, and then, of course, we will be playing some games where these two guys get to do some fun stuff today.
Yippee.
Yippee.
Hey, it's Cash
Anyways.
Live.
Oh, wow. There
Is
we
he
go.
on?
We're already starting.
Oh, no.
Yep. Loud and clear.
Okay.
Mr. Sean, how's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. It's good to finally meet you in person. I think we've been playing YouTube tag since I started doing these videos.
It's been a little bit.
So for all the viewers, the first time viewers, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I'm 6'1". I like long walks on the beach. Yeah, basically, I think the reason you had me on is, or have me on, is because I do Michigan beer reviews, or mostly Michigan. So I do, I'd say probably 90% of what I do is based on Michigan. And just, we have, in the state, we have like 300 breweries, and it seems like it's growing all the time. So that's pretty much what I do. I talk to personalities in Michigan or around Michigan craft beer industry. Like, it's mostly smaller places. I haven't gotten cracked into the big time like Founders or Bell's or I guess those would probably be the two biggest. But yeah, so that's pretty much what my focus is Michigan beer and a little bit national stuff here and there once in a while.
You have way more experience under your belt than I do. Do those big breweries, do they not talk to small time YouTube channels, or?
Yeah, I think that they like to talk to people that are legitimate. So if you I have friends that write for websites, or they, I have, I made friends with somebody who does podcasting. I'm sure if, they'd probably be a little bit more open to talking to somebody in that kind of media, whatever offshoot, I guess, than to me. I mean, I haven't really reached out, but I know that, like Bell's, if I'll post something, they'll respond. Or if I posted a video it was probably about a year ago about a beer that they did, a limited release called Mars. It was a double IPA, and I tried it.
I had it. It was one of the strongest IPAs I think I've ever had. It was crazy.
I had it when I was 3 years old, so I don't know if they would have liked it to,
Barley wine.
Yeah, so I kind of just talked about how it would be different, and they didn't reach out to me privately, but they left comments, and they kind of hit me back up and said, hey, this isn't how you should drink it, but, and came to the same conclusion that I did, that it's not super great, but yeah, tastes a little off.
Probably low risk for him.
Well, if you want to pop open a beer, why don't you tell me what you're drinking first, then we'll tell you a little bit about what we're drinking tonight.
All right. Well, you asked me to do something local, and that's what I'm all about, drinking local. So I just talked to these guys earlier today on my video went up today. This is from, hopefully you can see that. This is called Blue Tubes, and it's a little play on Blue Man Group, and it is from Loaded Dice Brewery in Troy, Michigan. This is a blueberry Hefeweizen. It's 5.4%. And this should have been canned. I picked this up on Saturday, so this is like super fresh.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna brew an orange Hefeweizen, so the blueberry one. I've never even thought about doing something like that.
Yeah, these guys are pretty cool. They do all their stuff is open source, so
They just post all their recipes, or
it's all available out there.
nice.
And
pretty cool.
yeah, it's really cool. Just kind of give him back. And he has been so busy, he hasn't been able to drink this, or not drink. I'm sure he's drank the same thing twice, but he hasn't been able to brew the same thing twice. So
That's probably fun.
yeah, I think that he would love to be able to do, have something that's standard and that's there all the time. But I know your guys' restrictions are a little bit lighter than ours are. And even with we have 25% capacity indoors right now. So even with that, he said he's been blowing through stuff constantly. He's brewing like every day. He's got a really small system, but he's brewing every day.
Well, we can talk about that now since we're already kind of dabbling in it. I know everyone's kind of tired of 2020. We're past it. Why do we keep talking about it? But what was that like for you guys up in Michigan? I heard you guys were a lot more cracked down than down here in Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, for lack of a better term, I'm really good being alone. I mean, I have a family and stuff here, and they keep me just on the edge of sanity, maybe on the edge of insanity. So I don't want to say it didn't affect me that much, but I think for me, the first couple weeks when we thought it was just going to be a flu, and in 2 weeks everything was going to be back to normal, and I bought gift cards to my favorite local places saying, I'll just come by and pick it up. I'll be there in a couple weeks. And that rolling into months, and we opened up really briefly. Well, the summer was outside stuff, and I think that we opened up indoors really briefly for a little bit, but it got pretty, it got hard. It's hard for a lot of these places, and I think that a place that doesn't have a good carry-out system or some kind of canning system, they could have really hit some hard times.
We had some places here in Fort Wayne that, at least for a time, they shut their doors just because they didn't have that carry-out system in place.
A lot of them went to apps.
Yeah. Like, like,
Ozone.
what is it now?
Ozone,
Ozener, something like that? Yeah.
They had a couple of them.
So I'm ready for a drink myself. So earlier in the week, I did a poll on social media, on stories, Facebook and Instagram. It was I botched it a little bit. All right, if you can't tell, most of this channel is rigged up. But I gave 3 options for viewers to vote on, and whichever option the most people voted for is the brewery we would drink tonight. So Fortlandia won that vote, and they're a nano brewery here in Fort Wayne. And I was telling you that they have quite a few tap handles, at least 12 to 15, I'd say. And they're just constantly rotating stuff out. They're always trying new stuff, small batches, and just constantly pushing stuff out. So I got a few different beers, but this first one is Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. And it's a smoked Rausch beer, Rausch beer, a German beer. So would you mind popping that for me? I'll let Dakota pop
I
that
hate
open.
smoked beer.
You hate smoked beer?
Starting out with a bang then.
Well, we'll see. If it's a light smoke, I'll be into it. I'm in a phase right now where I like to drink different beers than like.
Oh, it smells light.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Does that smell like a campfire?
At least the smell.
I just don't want an IPA and a stout like right now. I want like different stuff like Hefeweizen.
Am I pouring them all, or am I?
Yeah, go ahead and pour them all.
What's your glasses?
So,
Like yeah, they're all standardized.
I don't have all 3 similar glasses.
Will you pour?
Anyways, so, yeah, how long have you been doing this? I mean, kind of tell me about how you got started YouTubing, and were you tasting beforehand and doing the same kind of really intensive process when you were trying beers, or is this something you're doing for the channel mainly?
No, well, I guess I'll start with the first question. I think that I started in 2017 or 2018. I think it was 2017, like May 2017. Really, I got into doing the stuff on YouTube because I I was interested in. I wanted to start a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
I think that's everybody's like, oh, it's cool, start a YouTube channel. There's
That's
always a
why I
lot of
did it,
fame in
yeah,
that.
right
Yeah. And I was interested in photography, interested in cameras, interested in videography, and I've done like light editing years ago, but I wanted to kind of do stuff along that line, and I thought, well, if I do something that I enjoy doing, obviously, instead of editing other people's stuff, I like beer.
Yeah.
But before that, like I had friends that we would get together, and before, online was really, people, there weren't Facebook groups about drinking beer, and there weren't, Untapped wasn't a thing, and we
I don't
just
remember
kind of,
these days. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
I know it was a long time ago, but we would just get together and, hey, it's the first football game of the season, let's drink a case of Oktoberfest or whatever. But we'd always try and seek out stuff that was craft and not mass produced, just for whatever reason, just, it's the different thing to try. And it was kind of like the adventure of it, right? The kind of the thrill of the hunt, finding stuff like that. We never got anything that was crazy by any means. But it was, to us, it was always exciting. And then I gained a bunch of weight and I lost a bunch
Everybody
of weight.
in craft beer.
Yeah. And then I lost a bunch of weight, and then I was like, you know what? I want to get fat again. So let's start this beer thing. So yeah, just kind of started doing it that way. But I never really, until I started doing the videos, I was never as intensive about, what is this flavor? And this might sound really kind of silly, and maybe you've done the same thing, I don't know. But when I started, I was like, how much do I actually know about beer? Like, I thought I knew something, but I probably didn't know anything. And how do you actually even talk about, when you taste a beer, like, how do you even talk about what you're tasting? Like, what is that flavor? Like, for me, Two Hearted, right? It's really malty, but at the time I was like, man, what is that thing that they do to Two Hearted that makes it taste like that? I had no idea how to even describe what it was. And I think the thing with that is, like, they don't all taste the same thing, but I think the difference is the words that you kind of can think of and put the words to the taste that you have and talk about that. I think that's really the difference between a person that doesn't think about it kind of critically like that and somebody that does. It's just the words that you know of how to describe what you're tasting.
We're still trying to find that. I joke all the time with viewers, and the idea of this channel was to learn the process and talk to people that already know that all about craft beer. So I'm sharing with people what I'm learning, and this at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same.
Blue collar.
Never claimed to be an expert on anything. That's like, I'm just trying this stuff out, same as you, and you might actually taste something that I don't taste, and I know that's for sure, because there's a lot of stuff that's come up lately that's been like, I've really been kind of challenging myself, but not kind of hitting the notes. That's always a pet peeve, is when they put something on a can and you don't taste it, but somebody else does. It's like, how do you taste that and I don't taste it? So
I rely on these guys for the whiskey element for our channel, because when I start tasting whiskeys, I really have to search for it. So that's why...
Dakota's the same way. Not that
Is
I'm
it
any
there?
better.
Am I imagining it? What's going on?
Well, there's also, you have to be careful with, if it's on the label, or if somebody tells you, like, hey, I taste bubble gum, your mind instantly goes to bubble gum.
Oh yeah, I try to, like, I have been so burned by going after hype stuff and then getting it so hyped up, about what it is, and then you try it and you're like, man, I mean, it's good, but you just it can never live up to what you have just built it up to be. So I try to stay away from stuff like that. I try to not even, like, oh yeah, hey, cool, like Founders did Panther Cup, and it was like, oh cool, I want to try Panther Cup, but I'm not gonna get crazy about it. If I find it, cool. If not, I'll find it eventually, because you can find that every place now. But yeah, it's totally. I get that.
What is Panther Cup? I haven't heard much about that one.
It is, so they do, Founders does that barrel age series every year, and that's where KBS comes from and all that stuff. Yeah. So Panther Cub is a barrel aged porter with vanilla and maple syrup, and the story behind that beer is Founders in Grand Rapids and Detroit do this mothership series, right, where they release a beer in bottles only at those locations, and when they released it, and I think it was 2019 when they did it last time, it was a Mothership series thing, and people were waiting outside, outside in a line, and that was the last beer that they did where there were no limits. So, people in line, it was raining, it was like a really crappy day across the entire state. So people were getting, drenched out in the rain and stuff, and, they waited for hours, and they get to the first, I think within the first, half an hour it sold out. And probably faster than that. So there were a lot of people pissed off, and then I was kind of surprised that they brought it back. But I guess this one has its maple and vanilla extract, like maple syrup instead of maple bourbon barrels. So it's a little bit different than what the original, idea or formula or whatever was behind it. But yeah,
it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's their big deal. It's supposed to be nationwide in March, I think.
That one out.
So, going back to the beers that we had, why don't you give me a little, if you don't mind, why don't you give me a little rapid fire, what you think about it?
Oh, about this one?
Yeah.
Or the next one? No, it's. I mean, that color's pretty. I don't know I'm like, it's pretty dark in here, but the color's really nice. It's like a kind of a purplish reddish.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Hefeweizen, and you can taste the wheat, and it's not quite as weedy as I would have expected, but the blueberries in there, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say it's heavy-handed, but you can definitely taste the blueberry. The blueberry is like the predominant flavor on it.
Yeah.
And you can kind of smell it on the nose too. It smells like a wheat beer with like a tinge of blueberry, but it's not crazy on the nose, but I think it's a little bit more strong on the taste. And I don't have a problem with that. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys notice or if you guys do this, but I don't ever totally slag a beer. If it's bad, I just won't. If it's really, really bad, I just won't even put the video out. I'll just stop it and be like, yeah, I'm good.
We've run into that before. I don't know if you've seen any recent ones where I do a very casual rating system where fantastic, good, decent, bad. And if it's bad, I'm probably not going to put it out. I don't like to bash on a brewery, because especially the small ones locally. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to do to their, yeah.
And somebody else might like it.
Yeah,
true.
Right.
It's all subjective.
Could be a bad can, it could be any number of things.
So, earlier you mentioned that you actually have a daytime. So how is it managing, a daytime job and a 2 video a week schedule? And I know this is kind of YouTuber talk, but editing a video isn't necessarily just what you see on camera. It takes a lot of time.
No way. I just record it, and I just put it right on YouTube from there.
Yeah.
It just goes,
yeah.
it's up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that your secret?
They're all live.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce. Honestly, at this point, I've got it down pretty good. I use a green screen. I do it in my basement. I use a green screen. I know how to kind of finesse what I need to finesse, and then I play through. I listen to it at 2 times speed, and just kind of like, okay. And if I cut out my burps and stuff, so if I burp, I'll just cut that out. So most of it's pretty streamlined, and it's all one take. So it's not one. So I actually script what you see from the beginning. Those awesome jokes that I tell at the beginning, until I taste the beer is all scripted, and then when I say, all right, friends, that's been blah 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 blah, everything after that's scripted. So everything in the middle is candid. So if anything gets screwed up, and I've had it where I've opened a can and it's like exploded, and I've so I have another one, but it might be hot, or whatever. So I'll just try and redo that piece, but I've got it down pretty quick now that a review from not the recording piece of it. I do usually 2 at a time, or 3, and then I'll the editing piece of it's like maybe half an hour, like for each video. So it doesn't really take that long anymore. But it has been such a steep learning curve to get it to that point. So it's pretty streamlined, but it used to be a long drawn out thing, and I'd be down here working on it every night. And I was at first I didn't do them at 2 at a time. I was doing it. The video comes out Tuesday. I got to record one on Sunday and Wednesday. You know what I mean? So yeah. Now I record them all at once. I come down at the end of the night, watch a movie while it all does its thing, and then I just edit it up and usually turn it around pretty quick.
I'm still trying to figure that process out. I guess I'm still experimenting with the formats and how we do things, and you have it pretty standardized, but I'm still trying to figure out, should I, like for instance, here recently I decided that instead of just doing an impromptu tasting where everything's off the cuff, I'd like to taste it, kind of let sit on a minute, formulate some thoughts, and then kind of redo that thing with the thoughts I've formulated.
Yeah, and I think it can be tough when you kind of put yourself under the gun and you're like, I'm going to give myself this amount of time to do it, right? I'm going to give myself 20 minutes or whatever to do it. That beer can change so much from the time that you open it and pour it to the time that you are done, or even afterwards. So there's been times where I will try something and I will just I'll add notes afterwards, like, hey, I didn't let this sit long enough when I sat on it. Well, I didn't literally sit on it, but when I let it sit for long enough and it warmed up even more, this is what I got out of it. I didn't get it before, but now I got this. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't do that very often, but if it's, like I said, I come down, I watch a movie while all this stuff's going on. I still have the beer with me, so I get to try it at that point and say, like, oh, okay, well, this really, it said it was this style. I didn't get that when I tried it, but now that it's warmed up to, proper, maybe a little closer to room temperature, okay, I'm picking that up, or I'm not stout specifically or like that,
Yeah.
If you don't taste them at the right temperature, you're not going to get what you're supposed to get out of it.
So, just coming back around to the beer we just had, Dakota, why don't you what did you guys think of this?
I hate smoked beer. This tastes like smoked beer.
What'd you think?
Yeah, it's not bad. What is it? Is it a
Rausch
It's
beer.
it's a German
that's what it
beer
was, okay.
that's smoked.
Yeah, I think it's tasty.
It's not the worst smoked beer I've ever had.
I thought it was pretty good actually.
The smoke's pretty subtle.
It is subtle, and it's I don't know.
gonna
I
come
enjoy
out more
smoky
when
foods anyway, so just
I love smoky foods. I don't
Just
like
not your
smoky
beer?
drinks. I don't want to drink smoke. It's not my style. It's pretty tame, but it's getting.
I don't think I've ever
it's
heard of
coming
a
through
Rausch.
more as it. You ever heard of a Rausch beer?
I don't think I have. Unless I've seen it and it's spelled weird.
It
I
is
thought
spelled
was
weird.
Pronounced
Yeah.
something else.
Anyway, so as you just saw,
It's good,
it's not necessarily a well constructed paragraph of thoughts. It's oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Bullseye, yeah. Dartboard approach.
It's spelled like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, Rausch
Rausch
beer.
beer.
Yeah.
So down here in Fort Wayne, we think of Grand Rapids, kind of that area, Central Michigan. It's kind of like the craft beer heaven. Is it all it's hyped up to be? Is that area, Michigan, kind of the craft beer central that everyone else thinks it is?
I mean, I think you guys are in a good position because you have, what Grand Rapids is like a 3-hour drive for you,
Yeah.
give or take.
Thereabout.
And then you have Chicago. I mean, that's like that's just
pretty
Chicago,
hopping,
and they
yeah.
have like their 100 of their own. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Grand Rapids is cool because they do have so many different breweries. They're so close. There are so many places that are just, it could be just some hole in the wall place that you've never heard of, but they're doing great beer. They just don't can, they don't distribute, whatever, I think the thing for me, like kind of going back to, doing the YouTube thing, Michigan for me was, I'm just lazy. I don't like to go to the post office, right? I'd rather like get a tooth pulled or get a cavity filled or something. I'd rather go to the dentist and go to the post office and send beer to somebody. And I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So there are so many great bottle shops around here, and there's so much great beer in Michigan that was going to be the focus. But yeah, I think Grand Rapids, I think in Grand Rapids alone, there's 80 breweries or something like that. So it's, and the surrounding areas, like on your way up from Fort Wayne, from Indiana, up to Grand Rapids, on my way here from near the Detroit area to Grand Rapids, there are places just dotted all along. I could go to Lansing and there's at least 10 breweries that I can go to in Lansing itself, and then Grand River is like a road that runs from, I think it runs from Detroit to Chicago, goes around the lake. And on Grand River between Detroit and just Lansing, which is the state capital, it's in the middle of the state, it's like you could stop at like 12 places just on Grand River, if you just jaunted off a few miles here and there. So it's good in that respect. In some respects, some places are lacking. Where I live, there's one place that's like a couple miles away, and another place that's about a few more miles past that, and that they're fine, but there's only so many hike places that you can go, or so many hike places that you've heard of, but it's also those little, like I said, hole in the wall kind of places that are exciting because you don't know what they do. You might never have had it, but you can go there and have a beer too, and take an Uber or drive your car if you're feeling all right, and go to the next place and try out something else, or go to like a craft beer, like not a craft beer bar, but a tap house or something where they have 20 taps or 40 taps, or in the case of like someplace like Hopcat, 100 taps or whatever. Well, I don't even know if those places are open anymore, but they used to be open. They used to have 100 taps. So there's just a lot of stuff around. You could go to Detroit and hit 3 places that you've heard of and 10 other places that you haven't. Tiny, doing tiny things like 1-barrel brew houses and stuff like that. So there's just and then just across the bridge in Windsor there's a bunch of places there too. So I think that you read, I don't know if you see like USA Today or someplace will do these, best state in the country. I'm going to obviously rep Michigan because I'm in Michigan and I'm lazy and I don't like to go to the post office. So I don't know what else is out there, but we got a lot of good beer here and there's a lot of great places. I can go to the store and make a mixed 6-pack or 4 and not have the same brewery twice,
Yeah. So are you still chasing beer? Something that we talk about frequently in some of the videos we do is, back when the craft beer scene was still growing or just growing, we were chasing all the time. These guys especially, they were always chasing for craft beer. Are you still out there chasing, or is that something that you kind of let the younger folk do nowadays?
What are you trying to say?
Well, me too.
Not
me too.
elderly.
We're not doing it.
Yeah, I don't. I think there's been good and bad that have come out of this, home stuff, stay-at-home orders and pandemic fire drills and all that stuff. I think there have been good and bad things, and that might sound weird, but I think some of the good things for craft beer have been online ordering. So I don't have to stand in line and, sub-zero temperatures to get a beer.
Yeah.
So there are places that are local that I'll still try to get. Like in Michigan here, there's right around Detroit, there's a big Polish population, and I don't know if you guys get them, but punchkis are like these donuts. Basically, they're for Fat Tuesday, the day before, Lent starts and all that. And a couple places around here have done like punchki beers. So they're like these jelly-filled donut beers.
Sounds like Amish crack beers around here. We've seen those before.
So those sell out super quick,
Yeah.
Online has its own hurdles, right? If you're not in the mug club, you don't get the early access. If you don't get the early access, you're missing out on some holy grail thing that you've never heard of. But for me, I've tried to not chase as much. Like Holmes is a place in Ann Arbor. They're pretty around here. If you ask somebody, I'm in Ann Arbor, I'm in the Detroit area, where should I go? Craft brewery, and they'll say, go to Holmes in Ann Arbor. Mm. They did a thing with, I forgot who they did it with, but they just recently did this crazy stout called Doozy Hawk, and it was like, I think they did a beer like last year called Coconut Doozy or something, and it's like this chase beer, right, that everybody's trying to get. I didn't get any, but I wasn't trying, I didn't really put much of an effort forth, but it's like when you go on the beer trading forums, Michigan beer trading stuff, or there's a Detroit one that's like a real high ticket item. But, for the most part, I don't really chase, like I said, stuff that I know is going to be big, like all the Founders Barrel Aged Series, Founders beer in general. That's not just a tri-state area kind of thing. That's like a national/global. I don't know if they're global, but I think Founders is in like 49 states. So I'll chase ones that I know are going to be popular, but other than that, like these smaller places, especially just if we're talking YouTube, it doesn't really, the dollars don't make sense, because the places that do it, unless they are really clued into social media or YouTube, they don't really care what you have to say about it. And big places don't either. So
yeah, that's something you got to balance, is your kind of your market. Not I hate to use the word marketing, but kind of your ROI on, do I pick this random beer that no one's heard of, or do I get something that's maybe a little bit more, has more clout to it?
I try to do a little of both. I try to do the big places, or the top 10 places in the state that people know, and then I try to do the really small places too, because there's value in that too. But yeah, it's definitely an ROI kind of, time investment, sunk cost fallacy, I guess you could say.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, yeah, there was a time where me and Cole Spazuri were chasing beers, and they were really hard to get beers at the time, and now they're just on the shelf everywhere.
Yeah.
They just saturate the market with them, and it's like what you were saying before. You get some of these beers that you get that they're like your white whale. You hype them up so much that when you get them, like, I can go down the road and get that at a brewery. It gets so hyped up, and the marketing hypes it up, and they're really good. But I mean, the variances on it can't differ that much.
Yeah, and I think it's funny too when you see somebody that had it when it was like the first time around or the second time around or whatever, and they're the ones that are on the forum saying like, "Oh, it was so much better last time." All right,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was, maybe that's true, and maybe them making more of it has made it, different in some way, but how can I? That's the thing. That's one thing that I always have an issue with is like a barrel aged beer or something where you age it on purpose, right? But they put it. We'll go back to Founders again. Like they do KBS and they do it every year. And holding something, trying something that is this year's vintage and last year's, and you try and you're like, oh, it tastes so much different. It's like, I mean, it probably does. There is obviously nuances and differences to all of it, but how many beers have you had since the last time you tried it last year when it was fresh? So how can you really put an opinion on it unless you're keeping some kind of really strict record, or even if you are, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so you're splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah. Either you enjoy it now or it's not good. There's no, yeah.
And that was one of the ones, KBS, CBS, when we first got into it, man, those were holy grails.
Oh, yeah.
The bottle looked really cool, so I wanted it, and never seen it, and then it finally came out, and you got some bottles, and now it's just sitting on shelves everywhere.
You can probably do a vertical of like the last
easy.
3 years
Yeah.
of them sitting on the shelf.
Probably sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
Super
Hey,
easy,
okay,
yeah.
this year. Yeah. That CBS turned like that here. And that's another difference between here and Grand Rapids is these, like New Holland is a big deal when they do their Dragon's Milk variations. And when it comes here, it sells out, and then they don't do a restock. And then I have a sister-in-law that lives near Grand Rapids, and we'll go visit, and I'll hit their local grocery, like their just regular grocery store, and they'll have like pallets of it. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess next time I won't break my neck trying to get it here. I'll just, we'll come visit. We'll come visit for some reason and get it then.
Well, I think I'm going to call it, and then so we can move on to our next segment. But I really appreciate you talking to me. I was thinking about it on the way here that this being our return to Live Fridays, you never know how many people are going to show up. So I appreciate you taking a chance anyways and talking to me.
Yeah, man. Anytime. It was fun. I'm never at a loss for words. So.
Do you want to leave the people with anything before you go?
How do you mean? Throw me for a loop.
Check out my YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can check that out. You go to youtube.drafttherapy.com or youtube.com/drafttherapy. I don't do really any other social media because I've got enough neuroses and anxiety. I don't need to delve into that. So I am on those social media platforms, but just check me out on YouTube. That's all I care about.
All right. Well, thanks, bud. Appreciate you talking.
Yeah,
Nice
no problem, man.
Nice
Had a lot of
meeting
fun anytime.
All right. That'd be it for that part of the show, folks. So I think you want to pop up on the next one.
Yeah.
Somebody
Wow.
says true. I don't want it.
You don't want it? Do you want it?
You don't like it?
I told you I don't like smoked beer.
Go ahead.
Well, you did. I thought you were getting into it, though. You never really.
It got worse.
Even that?
It got worse as it
I
warmed
think
up.
it's that smoke you really don't.
That's where we're different. Tastes like campfire.
We're COVID friendly here.
Yeah. Trying to make glasses for all y'all. All right. So the next one we're gonna be looking at is Utterly Awesome, with some D's. Utterly. It's a milk stout at 5.76%. So,
Hey, Cass, if you're still on, it's to you.
I don't know if he is.
I don't know. He hasn't responded.
as far as I know, everything's going.
Danielle messaged you earlier and said, "Are you going to go live soon?"
Yeah, as far as I know, everything's going. Anyways, we'll just keep doing it until someone says we don't. Or you could get on your phone and make sure that you can connect to it.
Just artificially inflate our viewers.
Yes.
Yep, shows me looking at my phone.
What's that?
Showed me looking at my phone. Sorry. So that's pretty cool. How'd you end up meeting him to like setting
Smells a
up
lot
an
better than the
interview?
last one.
Oh, it smells amazing. It's got some coffee in there too. There's a bunch left, so just take what you
Literally?
want and then.
Mine has neat little increments on it that you can pour it to. Last time
So
I was in between these two.
I met Sean. Well, not met. That was the first time actually meet. Thank you, Leslie. That's very nice of you.
Aw. Yeah,
Aw, glad you could make it, honey. Oh, I can just hear him cackling away right now.
So I met Sean just doing YouTube videos, kind of trying to do some networking, find other people in the sphere, kind of in our area. How can I increase the sphere awareness for blue collar booze? And one of the channels I stumbled on was draft therapy from by Sean there. So we kind of just started interacting back and forth over the past few months, and yeah. So I appreciate him coming on, and you should definitely check out his channel.
I gave him a subscribe.
You did already?
Yeah.
The number one fan. All right. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
The last one was smoke 'em if you got 'em, but I guess we can do that for this one. You're supposed to laugh. That's all right.
Do one of these. Oh, I gotta get up, Donna.
Anyways, so the next part was going to be the news, and I figured we can just cover a story, and then you guys can kind of talk about it, think about it, see what you guys think about it. You're all right.
You do this shit at 9 p.m. I'm usually in bed in an hour.
All right.
Old man Cole.
You get to see a nice view of Dakota's.
Ass.
It's for you, YouTube.
Anyway, so let's just move into the news. We can talk about it, and after that, we'll chill out and play a game or two, and it'll be fun. So, first news story that I wanted to talk about was Drizzly. Do you guys know what Drizzly is?
Judging by the article headline, I'm guessing it's a beer delivery company.
It is, except it's alcohol of all kinds. So that they partner with liquor stores, and then
So Indiana won't be getting that.
it's in Indianapolis right now, and then it's traveling to Fort Wayne soon.
Really?
So yeah, you could just
Really?
go on their app and then
Yeah,
buy
but
something, and then
legally,
someone.
they can't deliver alcohol, though, right?
I don't know the legalities of it.
Works and
Yeah.
stuff. They've come a little ways, Indiana.
But Uber is buying them for 1.1
Have you
billion
even tried that yet?
with a B. No, I'm just gonna put some more.
It's like root beer.
Which is pretty cool. I think they'll expand because the idea is the same as like Uber Eats and all that jazz.
It's just alcohol.
Uber drinks.
It's open sourced. Like a random person will pick up the order and then drop it off for the customer.
And they'll pick it up at a liquor store?
Yeah.
Or brewery? Or
Yeah.
Huh.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's really
Way
good.
better than the first one. The first one, I'm sure, is fine.
You just don't
I
like smoked
hate
beers.
Smoked beer. I said that before you even opened it. So you can't be mad.
All right, next one. I just thought this one was funny, so I wanted to get your guys' hot take on it. Yingling is launching Raging Eagle Mango beer, and that is, think of Four Loko. It'll be on the shelf right next to Four Loko.
So it's gonna be a. What is Four Loko a malt liquor? Yeah. So is it? This gonna be a malt liquor then, or is this more like White Claw?
I don't know.
No, I don't think
Just
it'd be
says
like a
mango flavored
seltzer
beer.
If that was it. Seltzer would be all over the name if it was.
Yeah.
It's
Trying to
probably
tap into the.
What's it say? It is
craft
6
market.
ABV. 6%. I can't hardly read it.
Yeah, 6% ABV. And
That's like nothing compared to
a Four Loko is like what,
11,
13, 11?
11, 12, 13.
That doesn't surprise me. I think every brewery's doing that nowadays.
I just remember back in the day when Yuengling first came to Indiana, just
Hot
how
shit.
hyped everyone was. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta have this. And now
It's like Dad's craft beer.
they're trying to make a Four Loko vein of beer. I don't know. I thought it was fun.
Oh my God, when was the last time I had a Four Loko?
It's been a while for me. And I think the last time I had a Four Loko, I regretted it dearly.
Yeah.
You know the original Four Locos when they had like energy in them are worth like $70 to $100 can.
Really?
Vintage Four Loko.
Because they don't have caffeine anymore, right? That was like
The old OG
legal
ones.
or illegalized.
Yeah, the old OG ones go for like $100 a can.
How old would that be?
2012 something. It's malt liquor.
I'm sure it's not that bad.
I don't know.
Just don't, man.
I'm sure nobody's buying it to drink it to taste great.
There's people out there that think Four Loko tastes good. I'm sure.
Maybe, but
It didn't taste bad last time I had it, but
if it's ice cold
yeah, it was definitely
As soon as it
strong
gets-
alcohol.
above 32 degrees, it sucks.
All right, so the next one, it would help if I have it on the right screen.
No way I can see this.
Let's see, there we go. So there's a recently new bill, it started in February, that is trying to get passed called the Restaurants Act. And what's cool about this is it'll give breweries, among other establishments, a crap ton of money. And the idea is just from COVID, trying to
Stimulus.
grants and stimulus bill type for small business restaurants. So that's cool. This next one is about Japanese whiskey. So there is an independent organization that is creating a standardized process for what is Japanese whiskey. Before that, Japanese distillers would buy a bunch of European barrels or European whiskey, relabel it under their own, or blend it with a number of other things, and then sell it as Japanese whiskey. So there was no bourbon has
No
to be this,
standards.
and this. They didn't have that for Japan. So there's a bunch of distilleries coming together under this organization.
I was gonna say, you want to switch seats?
You have a window over there.
Yeah, but it's not working too well.
Oh, that's not my problem.
Do you want to swap over here?
I can.
Why would your window work better than mine, or worse than mine?
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's all right.
Edit it out.
Good luck. They don't work very well.
Solid.
What are you doing?
It's gonna be 50 in here in no time, just so Dakota can smoke a cigar.
Anyways, so Nikka whiskey and Nikka and
Whoa.
I know. So I had to rethink that.
Nikita.
And the street.
Nikka. There you go. And Suntory, which are probably the two most popular Japanese distilleries here in the States, have decided to go under that. So if you buy these two, you'll know you're getting Japanese whiskey. You buy something else, Japanese whiskey, you may not know what you're getting.
I haven't dabbled into Japanese whiskey that much. I had some. It's different. It's a little more floral and fruity.
I had a
than bourbon.
Suntory old fashioned, and it was delicious. It was amazing.
I remember the last time I had one finish one.
It's been a while for myself. Well, all right.
Is that news?
I have 2 more, and they're just releases. Where you at?
2 more news source.
Gosh, it's
Oh,
freaking
boy.
out on me.
Man, you had that all. That was gonna be cool.
It was gonna be cool. There you go. Dear Lord.
I'm going home.
So the next ones are just releases. Maker's Mark is coming out with some cool stuff, like extra wood character, where they're gonna throw wood staves in at the end.
They do a lot of different stuff. I
They're getting a lot of bad rap, I think. See, there's memes about that. They're
About
like,
the
people
woods.
are just buying this. Doesn't matter what it is. We're just gonna make something silly. Yeah, pretty much. It's the same age. You just throw
it's been a while since I had Makers, but just the normal, probably 90 proof Makers. I think is probably the last one I had. That's pretty good. I don't think I've tried any of the other
RCs.
specific special single barrels, nothing like that.
All right. Let's see if this works this time. There we go. Dear Lord. All right. Then the other one from this article was Michter's releasing a barrel strength rye, which sounds awesome to me because their rye was good anyways.
Good luck getting that.
Yeah, limited amounts available. Yeah, you'll be going to the secondary if you want that, probably.
It's just priced $100. Not bad for
MSRP.
MSRP. Yeah.
Well, if you
Yeah,
can find
well,
MSRP.
if you can find it for that.
Yeah,
Right.
people are hoarding that like crazy.
All right, the last article, and then we'll be done with this.
Yeah, I'd like to get a hold of these.
Double Eagle Very Rare, which is a 20-year-old Eagle Rare, and it is going for $2,000
So that's gonna be up there.
and only 199 vials available.
Probably is 20 years old. Everything evaporated off.
Probably.
Angels are drunk.
Yeah, these are really cool because they got an eagle inside the bottle there.
The
So
glass
themselves,
and
yeah.
stuff.
The glass eagle on the inside.
A bottle, if you want just a bottle, is probably $200.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Oh,
if,
yeah.
If not more than that. That'd be cool. Man, that'd be so hard if I drop. I feel like though, if I got
$2,000 for that?
I feel like I'd have to drink it, but at the same time, there's
You'd
a lot
have
of,
to drink it? I would feel bad drinking it.
Yeah, but come on, you only live once. But then I guess on the other hand too, a lot of the people
This is
that
a
buy
guy who
those.
doesn't have new carpet for 3 years. I'd drink a $2,000 whiskey, but.
Oh, it tastes like metal corn. Yeah.
Then the only other whiskey on this that I recognized / cared about was New Riff, is offering a 15-year-old straight bourbon. Distilled at MGP, so I don't know if that matters to you guys.
That can't be theirs. I don't think they're that old.
$200 with around 900 bottles available.
So it's a 15-year-old whiskey that they bought and said it's theirs, and now we gotta pay for it.
Yep, pretty much.
Cool.
Yep. All right. So, and we're back. Sorry, just checking on the health of everything, making sure it's all running okay. Can't tell our chat shut down there.
Yeah, it wasn't working anyway.
No.
It was it's the last thing I said, but it like died after that.
Hopefully, cast down.
Morbid. I can't believe he was in so fast.
I know, instantly.
It's like 4 a.m. there. He said. He was just
Yeah,
like,
well,
I think he's been waiting ever since.
He's just been on the
He's got
channel.
like a
Staying.
Gandalf beard,
Just been standing by.
Oh, I'm not
waiting
gonna.
for us to come back.
I'm not gonna worry about this.
Oh,
Right now.
it happened.
Yeah, no. Did you? Are you still calling it Cass is alive, or are you calling it Cassie alive like we called it
I
forever?
called him Cass.
Did you?
He was probably too drunk to care.
I remember calling him Cassie alive forever, and then having an epiphany like halfway through a show.
Told us.
Wait, I need to read that.
That's so boring.
What?
Nah, it looks like it's fine. It was like looked like a spokes thing.
Anyways, we're getting boring here. Did you
are
open
we
this?
gonna
Have you
do?
tried this yet?
That's what I got in here. It's good.
Yeah.
It's way better than the first one. This one's good.
Is that
a
porter or stout?
I think it's a milk stout.
Yeah, it's a milk stout.
It's a milk IPA.
Did you get plenty or you want more?
I'm pretty sure I've had that one before.
Well, too bad. It's new Toulouse.
I'm pretty sure I've had that one before at like Burfest or something like that.
They did bring it to Burfest. This is one of their main ones. Like this one won a couple awards for, I believe.
Yeah,
So-
that's good.
Definitely. Anyways, so I guess we can go ahead and move on to the games part if you guys are ready. You feel ready about this? You can stand up at any point if you want to. I'm gonna ask you to stand up because I need to grab it real quick.
I'm gonna whoop some butt.
All right.
We'll whoop some cheeks.
Whoop some. I'm gonna get this stuff out of the way. So, moment.
Dab on 'em.
I hit the whoa.
You didn't hit shit.
The good stuff.
Oh hey!
I got my own.
No, you gotta use these.
Dibs on Bud Light.
Nope, don't even open them. All right, so.
Kind of bullshit game is this? Too pissed or not too pissed?
So I know it's a craft beer tale, but I thought I would do something a little more laid back, a little bit more fun.
I hate Coors.
Well, you're gonna have to get used to it. I thought we'd do something a little fun.
Well, you have to like it.
So we got cups here too. We are doing a competition between the two of you.
Oh boy. What? You know he has to drive home. I don't know what you're thinking of.
Well, I don't. You're not gonna. Neither of you are gonna be forced to chug, but the option is there. So,
Drinking game is this? You can drink faster.
No. So I have them labeled and color coordinated. I'm going to pour a beer in each cup. I'm going to mix them around, and your goal is to match each up.
It's all pissed. I'll be able to do it.
You think?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So you have to use the master of, or the full extent of your palate,
Coors is gonna be.
I'm gonna really have to reach deep for all these notes.
and match up the beer. And each, I'm going to do a point system here.
$5 for each one we get right.
Shut up.
20.
A point for each one that you get right, and if it comes down to like you both missed
Quit
one
looking at it.
and you both have 2 points, whoever finished first is the tiebreaker. So you don't have to rush, but if you do finish first,
Dakota's got the palate of a schoolgirl.
it benefits you.
I don't know, but it's trash. Although you might exceed
So,
at this. since
Are
it's
we not
pissed.
supposed to look at it?
Yeah, quit looking. He's
So yeah, no, don't look at anything yet. I'm gonna.
No, you're supposed to watch it, and then you're supposed to guess which one you poured in there. You
Oh, that's
idiot.
Miller Lite.
I just watched him pour it in there. I'm pretty sure it's Miller.
It doesn't matter if you watch me pour it, but I'm gonna ask you to turn around when I like mix up the cups.
That's fair.
I'm not even look at it.
Pick Coors up.
Immediately.
Yeah, actually, I did that right.
This is the stupidest idea ever.
It's fun. Shut up.
Gotta chug 3 beers. Tell you which one's which.
Well, that was the original idea. Was whoever loses has to chug the ones they got wrong.
So when are we done?
What do you mean?
Like, do they have to all be gone before our vote is cast, or do I
No.
I can tell you at any time?
You can tell me at any point, but if you get the most wrong, see, you want to take as much time as you need. But if you get done first,
really
it's the
search for the
tiebreaker.
notes.
Give you one of there.
Quit looking at shit.
I'm not looking at anything.
So I know this is taking a minute. I probably should have prepared this more, but I don't know what I could have prepared more other than pop them open like an hour ago.
That would have been nice and flat. Yeah.
But I like it. I like the enthusiasm.
I'll be back.
What do you think of this game, Dakota?
That's pretty cool. I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna pick Coors immediately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Coors is just nasty. I can pick it out. It's like all corn. Oops, all corn. Oops, all Coors.
I screwed that.
Is it raining out there?
Well, crap.
There's a hole in the gutter.
No, I messed it up.
Tard.
Yeah, I'd be sitting here trying to guess.
Nope. I'm gonna get it.
See if I can get this out. You sucker.
Just label it what it is.
Alright. Anyways.
You got it figured out?
Yes. So. Yeah, both you turn around. I'm gonna mix them up.
I'm gonna smoke.
Alright, alright, alright.
I don't want to play.
Alright. So.
We let the head go down so it's an even.
An even contest.
Yeah. This is actually. Don't be.
Alright, I'll get out of you guys' way.
Well,
Take
let me
these
see
out.
it. Hold on. Mine's like ice cream right now.
Alright.
He's already getting sniffs in. What the hell?
Yeah, hold on. Hold your horses here. Let me get out of the way. Alright. I'm going to start
be hot
the
slam.
competition now.
Start.
It's going?
Yeah.
They all taste the same. I got nothing. These all the same.
Well, you saw me pour them, so.
Absolutely no
Immediately.
nose. That's 100% Coors. It's gross. Ugh. My mom always drank Coors. I'm pretty sure that was one of the first beers I snuck was a Coors.
And you're like-
It was so gross.
It's like oh, hello, Katrina. Hello, Danielle. Wonderful to see you.
Such a good game.
Be nice.
No. I don't want them to be shit. She's with my wife.
Oh, is she? Yep, don't pick them up. Or don't look at the bottoms.
They all taste freaking. I'm set. I think I got it.
So I think we're proving every... So you went first. You're done, right? Are you done, Cole?
Sure.
So if you win still...
I mean, my palate was kind of like sugar, so these all taste like candy for some reason. If I just had these by themselves, I think I'd taste something better, but it's like coated in chocolatey, syrupy milk stout.
Alright, so Dakota finished first, but what matters here is who got the most right.
I don't think I got any right.
So, let's see what we got here. We got this one's right.
Suck it.
Miller?
This one's wrong,
Damn it.
which means this other one's wrong. Which that was a kind of a... No, it's not. This one's good.
What? How did I get 2 or 3?
That don't make no sense. I think I screwed this up.
Cole loses.
No, this one's right. It's good.
So I got all 3.
You get all 3 right.
Wow. Everything tastes the same. It tastes like candy.
Right?
I don't know.
Right? So you got them all right, too. You guys suck.
Good game.
That's no fair.
So as it's
So that means you need to
drink
chug all of them
six.
since you finished first.
No, you have to drink all 6.
Yeah, Colin has to do
Yeah,
that.
you're the loser. We didn't get a single one wrong.
All right. Well, at this point, I have nothing else planned.
See ya.
So, so at this point, I think we're just gonna drink beer and talk to you guys. So if you guys wanted to, you can dip out because there's nothing good.
Well, this
planned.
one's for you, chat.
Is that?
Yep.
This one's for Leslie 'cause she likes Miller Lite.
There you go.
Have some corn.
Thanks.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I know that this had nothing to do with craft beer, but I don't know. That we kind of disproved every domestic beer lover ever because it all tastes like the same.
They taste different, just not after that. I seriously tasted candy in all of them. This normally tastes like corn water. Yeah, Miller Lite's usually pretty tame, and Bud Light's pretty weak.
Oh no,
They
yeah.
all tasted about the same
It's-
to me tonight.
Mine's probably pretty tainted with a cigar, but those are pretty close.
Yep.
Just everything but Coors.
It's taking me back to pickle
Middle
koozies
school?
days.
Pickle koozies.
Yeah, elementary.
Starting at the
It's
pickle.
taking me back to first grade.
All right.
Let's do a little.
A blending.
Yeah.
All right, I want to pop this last one open before we close out the stream. I don't imagine we'll be on this stream too much longer, but let's try this last one before
Let's
we.
do a little splashy dashy.
You gotta add a little flavor, right? Bush is
Yeah.
the only thing that has.
Add a little flavor to them.
I just had to be sure to avoid Bush and PBR.
Oh yeah.
So I know you guys would be like, oh, yep, that's exactly what I usually drink.
Man, I don't drink that much. Like,
Domestic.
yeah, in the wintertime.
What's this
Unless
one?
I go to the bar.
Hope
I
it's a
might not go to the
sour.
bar that much.
It is not. They'd have no sours.
Good.
I wanted to get no smoke beers, no sours. All right.
Yeah, but I gotta smoke beer.
This one's called Hop Apocalypse.
You don't have to smoke beer.
Hopocalypse.
Apocalypse?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Hop apocalypse.
Flamamamba, please.
If you want to rinse out your here's a water here.
Light it.
Well, rinse it out.
This is so good, though.
The milk stout is amazing.
It's definitely tainting the flavor. I get that. Flamamamba.
Screw it, light it.
Tired of reading.
Take a little ears.
So I need to drink this.
Chug.
So this one
Stomach's
is
full. I had like 7 bowls.
It's an IPA, double IPA,
9%
9%.
9%.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I thought
better
it was-
than
yeah.
Hopocalypse.
Hockacoppox.
I can't take you guys. Can't take you guys anyway.
25 ounces too. That's kind of different. This is my normal just 24.
They only sell bombers for carryout. So like if they want to fill up the carryout cooler,
Well, I guess I
they
thought
just fill
bombers were
bombers.
just 24.
Oh.
Maybe
They're
they're
like 25.2 or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Hockapaka Kips. Dippa. Oh my god. These fizzy beers, man.
Glug, 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 glug.
Yeah, only pour yours from outer space.
Here, there's more. There you go. Shut up. If there's anything else wrong with this stream, I never even got to play my my animation. I worked hard on this thing. Let's see. No, wrong one. Yeah.
Wait, who's in the shirt?
It's just a random person.
You stole it?
No. I paid for that.
I paid good money for that.
And I didn't even use
Did
it.
it make sounds?
Maybe we can have more.
Did you add sounds to it? Like
No.
the viewers don't hear.
No. No, I was still going to find a news sound for the news, but you didn't even make it. You were supposed to.
I was supposed to make it.
Yeah.
I don't make
Dun, dun, dun.
sounds.
You do.
In the
talk
last
all the
one, you
time.
did.
I
You're
did it
making
on my
sounds
phone.
right now.
How about that?
Sound bit.
It's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
It's straight
It
hops.
smells
There's nothing
fruity.
like.
It smells really fruity.
No, I wouldn't. I would say no.
I have
citrus,
yet
or
to.
not much citrus.
I have
citrus.
yet to be to Portlandia.
Portlandia. Portlandia.
I
F.
haven't either.
F.
I have
Not
yet to be to
visited.
Portlandia.
They're good people. They really are.
I met him, I think. That was really good.
That's
Well,
why
I
I
picked
picked
them.
wearing
I'd rather
the
drink
Mash
their
Club
stuff.
and stuff before.
Yeah. They have really good stuff.
Yeah.
Except that smoke shit.
I asked.
And
I
even
went in and
that.
I asked Ken, who runs the
What's the
Portlandia
worst
Live.
beer you have?
I did. That's not what I asked. I asked, what would you recommend?
He's probably watching like,
Huh.
that guy.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not totally in the minority there, but it was better. Some smoked beer, like, I can't even touch. It's like, nope.
That wasn't heavy smoke
was
though.
really
That was yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine smoked beer is a pretty
It's pretty
close
niche.
knit crew.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's people that just like exclusively smoke beers.
Like Barley Wine Club, they have Smoked Beer Club.
They might.
I think those are idiots.
Look it up. Smoked Beer Club. Actually, it's probably gonna come up like a smoking and beer thing.
Anyways, anyone out there in the stream still?
Cass still alive?
Oh, damn. I see what you did there. Cass ain't alive.
Dear Lord.
It's his birthday. It was 4 a.m. in Sweden. He's probably passed out.
Probably. What did he use? He told us what he drank,
Gin
like
and
champagne
tonic.
and.
Gin and tonic.
Was it his birthday?
Yeah.
Aw, happy
We should-
birthday,
well,
Cass.
You said something, right?
Yeah, he said
I wish I sing happy birthday.
it's up at the top. So it does not surprise me. Happy birthday.
There you go.
And then he disappeared after I asked him how he was.
Well, it happens in
Well,
the past.
he- was it.
it was pretty dark. Yeah.
Anyways.
I can't wait to drink all these bottles of cold piss.
Shut up.
Well, actually, they aren't bottles.
Well, one of you was supposed to lose, but you didn't end up losing because you're.
You're the loser. Picking a shitty game. I'm just kidding.
Dear Lord.
So that is the one everybody else is seeing. And this is the one that should be fairly live.
Yeah, this is the one.
How many people are on?
I have no idea.
I don't know why that's not coming up.
Yeah, something's not working. But as far as I know, everything's going, or at least it was.
It says we're online.
Yep.
5 and 1.
5 and 1.
It was higher earlier.
Who's on Twitch?
Probably Cass. Probably fell asleep.
Anyways,
He was always the Twitch viewer.
Oh.
all right, fellas. I think we've talked about random crap for long enough. I appreciate you guys watching. I know it's I'm testing things. I'm trying to figure stuff out. Sean was nice enough to humor me to come on and do this stream. I was trying to figure out how many people are going to show up. You know, just what the flow is going to be like, and I'm going to need to put some work in. Is what the conclusion I came to.
I do like the.
Was the game fun?
I thought it was fun.
It was a good idea. I think
It was
we
a
just
good
are
start.
so good
Yeah.
at it.
Our
We're
pals
just
were just
so good at
too
drinking
amazing.
beer.
I think it'd be. I like the idea of it. I think it would be better with, like, craft beer, not so much.
Well, it was kind of a
It was a
like
good start.
a joke,
Yeah, it
like
was a
you
good-
know.
Yeah, it was a good start.
Okay.
But I do also like the interviewer style.
Okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
Where we just sit off to the side.
Yeah.
Well, I saw you over there, and you're like, "This is fun. This is great. I love this. Everything about this."
Well, he
is
got a
amazing."
chat with everybody.
I liked interacting with the chat.
Was that fun?
Kept him busy.
Got to get to work, but
Work at first.
there's a button. There you go. Yeah, next month will be. There might be a scotch involved. Keep that in mind.
Go on.
And these same beers are going to be in this cup.
When we get back here, they will still be here.
We're going to sample.
The real loser. has to
Once a
drink
month.
it.
Once a month, we'll sample. We'll see how long Bud Light lasts for a year.
Oh my gosh.
Sport molds. Or we could just pour all our shitty beer into one cup and then at the end of the month just drink it.
I don't think I like any of those ideas.
I don't. No.
Because you're going to lose.
And you were going to say something. You enjoyed another part of the stream? You liked the guest, the interview. You liked the game. Just you wish it wasn't crappy beer.
I mean, I don't know about wish. I still appreciate the beer.
I wish it wouldn't
But-
have sucked so hard.
I think it'd be harder if you got like some craft beer in there.
Things we're good at, things we're supposed to be good at. We're really good at like shitty beer, but
I
if you
just
put
think
crap beer in front of me, I'm gonna be so confused.
I think it'd be harder.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. Especially if they weren't even related. Well, yeah, they don't have to be the same. Like the 60, 90, 120 minute.
Mm-hmm.
If you did like a stout, a porter, and an IPA. Obviously, we know what the IPA was, but a stout, a porter, and another stout or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, that stout's definitely too hard.
How do you get this phone out of here? How do you-
Anyways, I need to handle these two. So I'm going to call it plug, I guess. Yes, follow the channel if you haven't already followed the channel, because you should all already be following the channel because you like us. So,
Yeah.
because you're all family, so you should be following the channel.
I'm gonna break this thing.